Well, Jacqui Lambie, the Palmer United Party senator, went on one of the FM radio shows. She was asked some questions about her personal life. She answered very honestly about what she's looking for in a man. She answered too honestly in talking about the kind of things she looks for in that man's attributes. I suppose the attributes prized by the superficial woman. And she was put it very bluntly what she's looking for: a good package, lots of money, and she's been copping a lot of criticism, and there's been this contrived outrage over whether it's double standards.
Well, I don't think it's double standards. I'm just sick of men being held up as sex objects. I mean, it just suits. It is. You're right. It's the views of the superficial woman.
Yeah, but
Men have got a lot more to contribute to this society and to this Australian Parliament than simply whether or not they have a very strong package.
Yeah, well, the truth is...
It's an outrage.
The truth is, the point being made is that had it been said by a man about women, there'd be outrage, and there's now been this auditing of the reaction to see whether some of the people that were criticising Tony Abbott, I think wrongly, over that wink, because we barely talked about it. That was a ridiculous storm in the teacup with the people who, for instance, called him a creep for winking, whether they're now calling her a creep for the things she said about men. Aren't we above all this?
I think the more telling thing out of this whole issue is how the Palmer United senators are aligning themselves more and more and more with the disaffected out there. That disaffected bloc, and it's a very large bloc of voters out there who are tired of our well-performing politicians walking in front of cameras, giving staged presentations, having all the cliches written out for them by their media advisors and their spinners, and they are deliberately out there now making sure that people see them as an alternative and as something different. We haven't had anything like this on our political scene for quite some time. It takes you back to the days when Joh Bjelke-Petersen was seen as the anti-politician. He was the one who really fed the chooks but said outrageous things, kept everyone amused, and everyone liked that because it was something different.
I think, look, Pauline Hanson was a bit like this because she was portraying herself as the every person. The difference with her was she had one seat in the lower house that she won as a Liberal, and she left the Liberals, so she had no power. She had no power at all. And so she was being criticised by the Labor Party, and the Liberal Party went to the point where Tony Abbott organised a slush fund to campaign against her, and as an indirect result of that, she ended up going to jail. So in this case, you've got the Palmer United Party senators have the balance of power. So the major parties are tiptoeing around them because they need their numbers, and that's why they pose a real threat, and that's why you're not going to have too many of the people in the major party today calling out Jacqui Lambie, because next week they're going to need her vote.
And how would you like to be trying to introduce legislation into the Parliament, reforming the way that the Senate is elected? I mean, that's not going to happen in any short series on, while Palmer United Party senators hold the balance of power.
Exactly.